What's the most important resource that you have? If you really thought about this deeply, I think you'd come to the same conclusion that Joey and I did. It's time. In our newest book, What's Without Wall Street, the 3 Steps to Financial Freedom Through Passive Income, we talk about how are we tracking that time? What is the thing that we can do to get more of that time back?
That's right. If you've ever been listening to our podcast and thought, man, it would be amazing if I could take all the things that you guys have learned over the last 10 years and just summarize them, put them in some way to easily digest them and take action, that's what this book is all about. You're not going to want to miss it. Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/new book and get your copy today. Wealth Without Wall Street Tribe. So grateful to have Amber Spears joining us in the studio today. Amber, so glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. I've been excited and looking forward to this for a couple months now. So thank you for having me on.
It's our pleasure. We've had a lot of fun before pressing record, and Tribe, I expect nothing less than the next 30 to 40 minutes to blow your mind. So Amber, your gift is being a master connector, a chief connecting officer, if you will. What does that even mean? What is a chief connection officer?
It's a great question. For me, the way I look at it is I'm the person that can help you find the who. So, Dan Sullivan talks a lot about that, which is you want to achieve big things. The first thing you should be thinking of is not the how am I going to do it. It's the who do I need on board to make that idea come to life. And that's something that I've done my entire career is I've been very fortunate to have a really large Rolodex of people that know, like, and trust me, and I know, like, and trust them. And if I don't know somebody, I'm 1 degree away, and I help people find those people. That's my gift. Like, I can find the who for you in pretty much any circumstance.
Do you feel like that's just it? You were born with that, or is that something that, for instance, Joey could learn how to do? Because I've been really
Joey.
Get him involved here. Is that some? I mean, is there hope for some of those, potentially hypothetically, Joey, to learn that gift, or do you believe that you just have to have it?
It's a great question. I had to learn it. My dad was struggling entrepreneur, a missionary, a pastor, and was a very domineering, abusive person. And so I grew up afraid to even really speak until I was homeschooled and moved around so much because my dad couldn't keep down a job. And so I was just really afraid of other kids. I was really afraid of other people. And it wasn't until, I actually got to go to school for the first time when I was a freshman in high school that I was just super awkward. Like, I didn't have the social skills. That's why do you get puppies and start socializing them, right? Like, you want them to be good at talking to other people. I wasn't. I think I was always a very bright child, certainly always. But from a social perspective, extremely awkward. And it's something that I had to really force myself to do. But I think innately to me, I absolutely love people. So that's not something I think that can be taught. So Joey, if you don't like people, then I don't know if I can help you there. But if you do, certainly it's something that can be learned because I learned it.
Well, I have the awkward part down. So if that's a launching pad,
and you're winning.
I'm right there.
Perfect. Then I have hope for you. And I'll train you. I'll put you through Amber's socialization training school.
Well, so Amber, in light of being a connector, we can make assumptions about how does that benefit you? How does that help the person who's listening right now about how they're going to build passive income? Mm-hmm. But help me connect the dots of how your gift of connection can help somebody become a passive investor, or some way to create passive income.
Yeah. I think at the core of connection is trust. I have trust in a lot of people because I have a long history with them, not necessarily that, I'm just a connector and I fire off intros all day. That's not really what I do. I spend time understanding people and getting to know them, getting to know their families, getting to know their dreams, getting to know their problems and their opportunities, and that helps me. So if you're talking about like passive income and kind of growing your business, like that's why people will come to me. It's just a really tactical thing. If you're trying to launch, a program or grow like a product, let's say you're like, hey, I've got a supplement company or I've got a mastermind and I want to grow it. Who can I partner with, right? The who part is important. Who can I partner with to accelerate that growth, then you'd come to somebody like me and I would take a look at what you have. And then I would immediately be able to spot the opportunities, strengths, and weaknesses inside of what you have and figure out how we can bring the right people to the table to shore up those weaknesses. Here's a really quick example. So let's say that you have a supplement company, right? Let's say it's a weight loss supplement company. Maybe you have keto gummies or you have blood sugar or something like that. The way that you could increase your AOV, let's say that you're having AOV issues, so your average order value is too low. So you're having problems scaling it because it's just not high enough for affiliates to be interested in running your offer. And you're struggling to really get it to scale on Facebook as well, because if you don't have enough money to spend, then you're kind of trapped. So I would look at your offer and I would say, wow, great product, great company, great founder, great ownership. You're having trouble on the AOV. Here's a few quick people and brands that I recommend that you partner with to get that up. The first one would be, let's say it's my buddy Chad Tackett from Committed Coaches. He's got 160 coaches on staff. They're all certified fitness professionals and nutritionists. And they would come in, and what they would do for the first 60 to 90 days is they would just talk to your customers. So upon point of purchase, they buy a supplement. Chad's team calls them and starts talking to them about what their goals are, creates custom macro plans for them, just talks to them every single week. So not only does that help you drop chargebacks and refunds, it starts increasing your AOV later down the road, because at the end of that 60 to 90 days, they invite them into a $5,000 high ticket weight loss coaching program as a really good success. So you have basically 60 to 90 days of free personalized support from true experts. So literally giving them free recipe plans. They're answering questions about the supplements. But at the end of that, they're going to make an invitation to those people that they feel trust with on behalf of your brand to buy a $5,000 weight loss offer. Now, why is that important? Because that brand would get 50% of that. So their average order value after that 60 to 90 days is going to jump by $2,500, right? So it's a huge way of increasing average order value and lifetime customer value down the road, right? So it's the LTV that we're looking at, but you can spend a lot more on Facebook if you know you're going to have this money coming in later, right? So it all that's the kind of stuff that I look at. It's like, okay, so you're having problems here. This would be something I'd recommend for someone who has a lot of chargebacks and refunds. Is a lot of times they're having that because there's no trust with the consumer. So if we can get somebody like Chad in to talk to the consumer with regularity and then give them something that they need, because if you're going through weight loss, supplements usually not going to cure it. You usually need more support. So it's great for the end customer as well. And that's something that we look at. And then also I look at your AOV and be like, okay, what if, for example, we partnered with somebody that has a really great complimentary offer and we put it on your thank you page so that every time a customer purchases your products, they're able to opt in for, let's say, a free band stretch, like a free, like those, like, I see them all the time. It's on my mind, but those like stretch bands, those fitness bands, those are really, really great for a thank you page on top of a blood sugar offer or weight loss offer. So now they might offer you, another $20 for a customer. So now your average order rate just jumped up too, right? So those are all partnerships that you can do. So if someone comes to me and gives me that, I'm going to look at it and be like, okay, not only do you need more affiliates for this, but also to bring it to affiliates, there's structural weaknesses inside of your program that we need to fix, so we can fix that with other people, right? So now you don't have to have a high ticket coaching offer that you run, you have a phone for, you have all this. No. You just outsource it to the right people. That helps increase your lifetime customer value. It means that you can spend more on Facebook, you can give more to affiliates. Now we also have that thank you page on there as well. So now it's bumping all those orders. So that's what I mean. Like, it's not just me introducing you to other people. It's me looking at your business and being like, where are the opportunities lie here and who can help you solve those issues?
You see the biggest opportunity and the biggest problems that most businesses have, which is getting new customers, right? That's once you solve that, then it's like, okay, now I can start working on all these other things. But most of the things that keep people up at night is not having enough new customers or worried that they won't have enough new customers in the future. And by the way, Tribe, if you don't own a business right now, this isn't the moment to turn this off, because in a second, Aaron's going to talk about how you could be one of those connectors, how you could be the person that helps other businesses do this and waits for you to get paid. That's why we wanted you to come on, Amber. So we think that not only as business owners, right, we have to create brand, the brand that will attract people who are connectors, who can put us in front of lots of customers.
Talk about the person that has never even considered an affiliate offer. Like maybe some examples of some ways that you've seen a brand that was just focused on doing their own thing. What components did they have to put in to make an affiliate offer?
Yeah, it's a good question. So when people come to me and want to put an affiliate offer into their business, it's a couple of different things. One, it's they're seeing their friends make money from it and they want to do it too, right? So that's usually one way they come. The other way that they come is that they are worried because they have put all their eggs in a basket that's an algorithmic-based basket, meaning all of their business is coming from Facebook or all of their business is coming from Amazon. And that keeps them up at night and it would keep me up at night too, because at the end of the day, these algorithms are not designed for anybody spending money on them, right? Meaning paid advertising. They care about the end user. So they're going to change their mind and change their algorithms at any point in time, and they will never tell you, the advertiser, why, or suddenly you'll be out of compliance when you've been doing really well. It happened to a friend of mine who was a 9-figure business. It was a national supplement company, and in March of 2020, they got kicked off of Facebook. They had a huge staff, like 200 plus employees. That was their number one way to acquire customers, and they got kicked off. Now, given how much money they were spending on Facebook, which was millions of dollars a month, you would think that they'd get back on relatively quickly. They didn't get back on for 3 years. And so they had to do massive layoffs, and it was through no fault of their own. It's a very clean brand, and I can't tell you what happened because it's private, but I'll tell you when I found out what it was, I was like, that's all it was. It wasn't something they said. It wasn't something they did. It was just somebody at Facebook flagged it and the algorithm changed, and now they could never get back on platform for 3 years, right? So once you've had that happen to you, that tends to be another reason why people wouldn't come to me. So if you're a brand and you're like, man, my number way of acquiring customers is all based on algorithms, I would definitely consider adding an affiliate channel into your business because that's built on your relationships. It's not built based on algorithms. Now, is it ever going to be as big as you being able to spend money on Facebook or, just ring your credit card? No, because that has infinitely more scalability if you have money. But at the same time, my clients are doing on the low end 6 figures a year, average multi-7, a lot of them 8, some of them 9 figures a year with just affiliate partners, just affiliates, no algorithms. So I know it can be done. I see it every single day in my career. And if I could protect those business owners right now that are thinking about that, I'm like, holy cannoli, I'm really heavily weighted on algorithms. I want to add something new on here. They would be an ideal candidate, somebody who's already growing their business online, already has funnels, already has, data on those points, and they just want to add this in. They would be an ideal candidate for me.
If you've listened to our show for any length of time, you've heard us talk about infinite banking and how we were able to use that concept to create over $50,000 a month in passive income. But it's just not that easy to figure out, how does this all connect into my own personal system?
Stallion, that's why we created the passive income operating system, bro. It shows you how to turn active income into passive income. It makes all the steps come together. If you would like to get access to it as a podcast listener, we've never given this away in public before, go to what'swhatwallstreet.com/PIOS. There was nothing worse than walking into class when you're in school and the teacher saying, pop quiz day. Why? Because you were unprepared. Are you unprepared though for financial freedom?
Don't be. Find out how close you are by taking our 30-second quiz at wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/quiz.
We know as business owners, we there's 3 ways to grow traffic, right? It's organic, it's paid ads, and then there's the referrals. And most of the time, I think we think of referrals as just our existing customers. But what you're saying is that no, there's a way to create even a paid referral, right? The affiliate channel is in essence nothing more than a strategic partnership that is referring business to you, and they're getting paid to do it. They're unpaid salespeople until they actually send you somebody, which is a beautiful thing too. Like a lot of times we spend money in marketing paid ads, and there's not a guarantee that paid ad actually produces a customer. But in a referral relationship, somebody actually is coming to us, whether we're paying for the lead or we're paying for the actual, once they become a customer and now we pay that way. What are some best tips on creating an offer? Like I have this business. I want to create an affiliate marketing channel for my business. How do I know what are the best ways to do it? Because there's different ways, as I just mentioned. You can pay per lead, you can pay for the result. In your opinion, how do I craft this the best way? What have you seen work? Maybe share an example or two.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because you're exactly right about you can spend a lot of money on your credit card on paid ads and never get a sale, right? You might get some opt-ins but never get a sale. That's why Jay Abraham talks about affiliate marketing as a recession-proof revenue stream. Because typically you are going to pay after you acquire that customer and get their money into your account. And then you pay out the affiliate partner, right? So that's another way of diversifying risk inside of your business. Now, if you're like looking to establish an affiliate program into your business, depending on your business size, right? So let's just say that I'm a local flower shop company and I want to grow. You would look at it as growing it with partners. And I like to think of things through the power of 8. I learned this from JJ Virgin, who did this with Brendan Burchard and Mark Hyman like years and years ago, like 14, 15 years ago. These guys, before they were New York Times bestselling authors, before they were like, huge, the 8 of them, there's 8 of them. I think Gabby Bernstein might have been one of them. Essentially, they got together and they said, hey, for the entire year, I will refer you business. I will promote you. I will get on your podcast. I will go to your live events. I will promote you. And you do the same for me. So like if one of them went on a podcast, 7 of the other ones would get recommended for that podcast. If one of them had a live event, the other 7 would show up, they would speak, they would promote it, right? And so that's how they grew together. But what I think everyone misses from that is the ideal client avatar. So why did that work? It worked because they all serve the same avatar, usually women over 45, right? So if you're trying to get, physically healthy, you're also probably also trying to get mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, right? So just looking at your avatar as a 360 person. Now, if I was a wedding, if I was a flower shop, who would I look to? I would look to who else serves my ideal avatar. So wedding dress would be a partner of mine. Videographer would be a partner of mine, right? Wedding photographer would be a partner of mine. A DJ company would be a partner of mine. A venue would be a partner of mine. So now I'm cooking with gas. Now I've got 7 other businesses that all serve the same ideal avatar, and we all promote each other. You track it is important, and you kick them out if they don't perform, right? So setting really clear parameters of, hey, for an entire year, for 6 months, I'm going to send you every single lead that comes through my flower shop. If they're, buying for a wedding, I'm going to ask them if they have this list of other 7 people, they get a discount or they get an extra bonus. Maybe they get, 50 additional edited pictures from our videographer if they hire my referral, right? And then this is how much we're all paying each other. You track all the referral sources. And at the end of 6 months or a year, you say, all right, who did a good job? How much did we generate? Who didn't perform? And they're out. And a new one is going to come in, right? So from a very basic level, you can do that with a brick and mortar, right? Like I just mapped it out for you. So if you go all the way up to somebody like you, what I'd be looking at is like who else serves entrepreneurs or people wanting to have freedom financially. So who are those people, right? So really looking at that, and when you're doing what you're doing, you need to look at your level or above, because the halo effect is going to be really important. So let's say that you get $65,000 a month. You want somebody who's around $65,000 or higher to be partnered with you, not below you, because it needs to be peers, right? Obviously, we're just going to assume that they do good work and they take care of their clients. That's a given, because this is a relationship-based business. I don't want to partner with somebody who's good at acquiring customers but terrible at taking care of them, right? So just kind of thinking through that, but like that's a really easy start is like, do I have 7 other people, 7 other brands, right? Like if I'm a snack company, is there other snack companies I can partner with, or other, face cream companies, or like whatever it is that serve my ideal client avatar? And can we send business to each other, which is going to drop the cost of acquiring that customer as you start to zoom out, right? Because if you're spending most of your money on paid, now the cost to acquire is going to start to drop because you have 7 other partners that are promoting you, and you're on each other's newsletter, you're sponsoring each other's podcasts, you're like, you're doing live streams with them, showing up on stages with them. Like there are ways to do this at any level. The most important thing, though, is to pay them well. So I always see people being like, oh, yeah, it cost me $1,000 to acquire a customer on Facebook, but I want to pay my affiliates $50. You're like, dude, why would you pay Zub $1,000 and you're happy about that, but you're not going to pay your friend $1,000? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And on average, it's a trust transfer. Why does this work? At the core of it works because it's a transfer of trust. So you guys have me on this call. We've worked together for months. We've had great conversations. Now I'm here. So you guys trust me to do a good job, right? So you guys have built this amazing reputation. You're not taking that reputation. You're transferring that trust to me, right? So now people are hearing it. They're like, okay, Amber knows what she's doing. She's a good job. When I put you on a stage or I recommend you to people, I'm taking my Goodwill bank account, my trust, and I'm transferring it to you. It's the same thing if you look at it on scale. Like, why does it work when creators and influencers recommend a product? Because there's a transfer of trust. They trust that person to be a subject matter expert in fitness or financial or whatever, and then they're recommending this other brand. It's just merely a trust transfer, and it's a referral. So just like high level, that's kind of how I think about it and break it down.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about what you're saying. I mean, trust is the currency of today, and it's easy to not put as much value on that when you think about buying media and all that stuff. Like there's a way around it, but the best possible way is to have a reputation that then, as you mentioned, you're able to trade that trust over to others. Before we get into becoming an affiliate of brands that you already know, like, and trust, I think that's a huge strategy. One, we're talking about all the good things about like building this affiliate program, but I'll tell you, one of the biggest challenges for Russ and I, why we put it off for years, was this idea of how are we going to implement this, right? There's a lot of back office type stuff that has to take place. To your point, you have to pay them well. Well, what if you're the entrepreneur who is super busy and you're like, hey, I really do want to pay this person, but I don't have the systems, I don't have the processes, I don't have the back office support to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed so that this is consistent to those partnerships that we build. Like, help that person who's sitting there saying, I'd love to do this, but it just seems like a whole nother job that I don't have time for.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, it's, I think wanting you to be a passive and easy income stream is possible if you are an affiliate, and we'll break down what that is. When you're asking other people to promote you as a brand or your products and services, I always tell people, I'm like, you put one foot in and one foot out and you're going to get half-assed results. That's just the truth. So you have to make a commitment to doing it. And I wish I could tell you, it's an your answer, but it's true, because if I don't tell you the truth, then I'm not doing you the right service. And that to me matters a lot. So I don't want you looking at and being like, oh, it's autopilot thing. It's not. But you already have a lot of the pieces that you need. Like, if you have a business that's working right now, you already have a lot of pieces, right? You're acquiring customers somewhere from somehow, right? So let's just say you built your business on a referral. What I'd be doing is looking at that person who's sending me referrals and looking to find, how do I find 10 more like them? Really easy. How do I find 10 more people like this? How do they build their business? Where are they getting lead flow from? What's going on? How do I find those people? And if you just start looking for how do I find more like Joey's, right, then things start to become a little bit easier. And you can track it all as simply as on a spreadsheet, but you have to have trust to be able to do that, right? You have to have trust if you're going to be just especially if it like involves a phone call. So if it's like tracking to sell, like, my course, that's easy, because you should have some easy tracking things on there, like an Everflow or a Tune or Post Affiliate Pro or Impact, whatever. Those are all tracking softwares that you can put on your courses or your pages to track that. And it will automatically calculate things like sales tax, and it'll tell you the conversion rate and do all that stuff. You have to have that if you're doing anything at scale.
Is there a way to hire that out though? Like, I was just saying that whenever all of that stuff just makes me start to go, oh, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to stop to take time. How
it's the easiest part? It's the easiest part, dude. You can go on to Upwork, you can do whatever, and you just hire that person to do it for you. right? It's easy peasy. Like it shouldn't cost that much. Setup and everything should be like $500 to $1,500 for you to pay a developer or somebody to do it into your current systems. It's not that hard. Or if you're not doing much volume, let's say you're doing like 30 referrals a month, just track it on a spreadsheet and, give them some sort of code on the other side. Like, for example, one of my clients is A1 Garage Doors, and absolutely love them. Incredible company. They're like $200 million a year. They want to launch an affiliate program. And, one of the things we're thinking through is like, how do we get them from impact to service titan? That's one kind of transfer of tech. So they have a tech team doing it, it's working. But then how do we make sure that for anybody, when they're on the phone call, we're tracking it back to the referral partner? Well, let's give them something. So like if you go through me, then you'll also get a free garage door clicker if you go through like an additional one, right? So you can add those things on if you're manually tracking, which is like another added benefit. So like, let's say that they came to you and you were you were an affiliate for somebody else. You also want to give them something juicy from Wealth Without Wall Street to ensure that if somehow that manual tracking gets lost, they're still going to go back and be like, well, I came from the Wealth Without Wall Street guys. And if I came from them, I got 250 off, right? Or I get, their free ebook or whatever too. That way you have that kind of additional support for your referral if you don't have good tracking set up.
I love that. All right, let's talk about how to become an affiliate, right? Because some of us maybe don't own a business and don't intend to own a business, but we would love to start building in some sort of side hustle income, something that we can do. Maybe we do have a following, right? Like we've been successful in one of the social media channels, and now people are following us. How can we become an affiliate of others? What's involved, and how should we seek those relationships out?
It's a great question, but I think you nailed it, which is if you have an audience, right? If you're just coming up the street and you have no business connections, no business acumen, no audience, like nothing, this is not what I'd start doing. I'd start doing sales, because then that's how you're going to make money, right? So I'd love to tell everyone that they can be a connector. It's not true. You need to connect people and have value, like have a reason to connect them and connect people together that you can help solve their problems, and that requires time. And if you're hurting for money, that's not what I would do. But if you have an audience, and I see this all the time, it's like, if you have an audience, what a gift. Because right now, the most important thing is attention. That's probably one of the most valuable currencies that you have, and you have trust. So I would absolutely find people like yourselves to promote, right? So maybe I promote your courses, whatever, but it, again, boiling down to who do I serve in my audience? So what I don't want you to do is be, a homesteader, stay-at-home mom, promoting stuff that doesn't make sense to your brand just to promote it, right? I want you to become an affiliate, and it's very lucrative. Let's say that you have 100,000 people on your email list, right? You collected it over years, the last 10 years, you've been sending out your blog to 100,000 people. If you partner with somebody like me and people that I work with that are really good at email marketing, we could be making you anywhere between $75,000 to $100,000 a month, especially if it's like maybe they didn't buy your courses or something, right? If they're buyers, even more. So that's if we're being really aggressive. So I'm just going to caveat with this. You might be hearing, be like, how do I make that money? Well, you're going to send a lot more than you're comfortable with. That's how you monetize it. Okay. Doesn't mean that you have to send stuff that's not an alignment or an integrity for you, but it does mean that you're going to have to send more than you're comfortable with. So that being said, I'm sure everyone here would love to have, make $1 per name on their email list per month. I see it every single day, and it can be done. If you are somebody that has an audience, right? So that's like one thing to know is that's your potential. That's your gift for spending time, many years building the trust with that audience. If you're a brand, it's much easier, right? Because it's really easy to just flip the lights on an affiliate program and just add that into your business, particularly if you're already generating sales online. Like it's easy. There's so many places you can go to find affiliate partners. There's AppyStash, and there's Social Snowball, and there's Grin, and there's all these different types of places where you can go find affiliate partners to work with. You just need somebody in there that you can hire to do it yourself or to do it for you, or you can do it yourself if you're a busy business owner. But like, I always just want people to know, like, do it now before you're forced to. Do it now, put it in before you come to me and you want me to save your life and your business, because I don't like being a savior. I like being somebody who can help you with time, with confidence, and instill it in your business. Because what I can guarantee you is that the algorithm will change without notice, and you're going to spend time trying to figure out how to get back on top on your search rankings, or how to get your pixel going again on Facebook, and now you're shut down or you're overspending. Like, it will happen no matter what. So you might as well put this into your business to add another stable leg to diversify your customer acquisition.
Well, Amber, there's no doubt somebody who's listening to you today, they know that you know what you're talking about. You are the chief connection officer, as you have on the screen today. And East Fifth Avenue is your agency. We've set up a page for people to go and learn more at eastfifthavenue.com/WWWS for Wealth Without Wall Street. For those that want to learn more about all the things that you talked about today, what are some things that they can get access to on that page?
Yeah, so such a great question. So we put together a really good guide. I like to put together stuff that's valuable, not just something I can put together, scrape your email list or your email and hit you up relentlessly for sales. So just know that's not what's going to happen. What I put together is something that is great for people who are just beginning all the way up to advanced, because I never know who's going to hear about us on a podcast or something. I want to serve that whole target market. So we have something that's a calculator. So you can actually punch in like, hey, here's my conversion rate. Here's the opt-in rate for, my landers. Like, here are my stats. And then it will spit out what we think you should be paying in commission. So that's a really useful tool, because a lot of people are like, I want to do an affiliate program, but I don't know how much to pay people. So we really wanted to help them solve that. So we created a calculator. We also have an assessment where you go through and you fill out, a bunch of different questions, and then we'll come back and tell you, you are at industry standard, above industry standard, below industry standard. Here's some recommendations that we have for you to improve your affiliate program or ways to supercharge it. And then the last thing is we have a checklist. So it's just a simple checklist we can go through. If you're like, hey, I want to know if I have everything I need to start an affiliate program, we're going to go through and be like, do you have a privacy policy? Check. Do you have a bidded brand term policy? Check. So just like going through that to make sure that you're structurally sound, all of that is included in that guide.
Tribe, if you're running a business right now and you're not already taking advantage of referral partnerships, even if it's in a very small way, you're missing an opportunity to really scale your business and help those around you, right? Like, people need to know more about what you do. And the number one reason people don't do business with you, they don't know you exist. And if you have built an audience, if you've been serving a large audience, as Amber shared, you can become an affiliate. You can become an affiliate of Wealth Without Wall Street. Like, there's a process for that as well. And we hope that this sort of idea is just another strategy, another arrow in your quiver that you can use on ways to not only grow your own personal business, but also to potentially create some level of reoccurring revenue from doing this as an affiliate. Amber, thank you so much for coming in. This is such a it's so interesting to us. It's fascinating to us. I hope it was to the person listening, but we appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tribe, have an amazing day. Take time to rate and review the show. Share this with somebody who needs to hear it, and see you in the next episode.
This has been the Wealth Without Wall Street podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show to break free of the Wall Street mindset and begin building wealth on your own terms in places you understand, so that your wealth will never run dry. See you next episode.